Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video, I'm gonna read through the new patch notes of patch 5.2a. These just got released, like as you can see, 19 minutes ago. So I haven't seen anything of them yet. It's gonna be my first time reacting to it. It's a lot, by the way. As you can see, there's a lot to go through. So let's immediately get into it. How's the newly hexified rift been treating you? Honestly, I'm gonna give my honest opinion. I don't like it at all. Personally, it's been a bit chilly for me. We're gonna get a winter map, huh? Won't say whose fault it is though. We have a brand new version of ARAM, new events, irregularly scheduled balance update. Okay. So I like, honestly guys, I don't really care about this. I'm gonna skip through it. You can pause the video and read through these events and whatnot. I just don't want to waste my time talking about the events. I want to go to the stuff that matters. Okay. So like always, I'm gonna guess what happens here. Before actually reading it. Evelyn, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that she's gonna get a buff. I really don't like that, just so you know. I really don't want her to get buffed, but I'm gonna guess she's gonna get buffed. Evelyn has been striking fear into the hearts of her enemies. We're tweaking your numbers to make sure she's still manageable as you face off against her in lane and jungle. Like, okay, nice, she's actually getting nerfed. Whiplash, which is her third ability. So, okay, it does a lot of different kinds of damage. Base damage plus percentage damage plus... So now it goes... Base damage does not go up. But the percentage target maximum health goes down by a lot, actually. Okay, this is quite a substantial damage nerf on her third ability. And then the empowered damage, the base damage goes down on the empowered one. And the scaling damage. Oh, okay, this is quite a substantial nerf. This is especially a nerf into the tank meta that we're playing right now. Like, this was her only real way to deal with tanks. To chunk them down with her third ability because it does a lot of maximum health damage. But now they tweaked the numbers and made it a bit worse for her. I can assure you that Vi is getting nerfed. She is, in my opinion, the most broken jungler. Pretty much like low-key the most broken jungler in the game. You just go heartsteel and damage on her. She gets like 5,000-6,000 HP and she destroys everyone. So 100% getting nerfed. Probably her passive or something. You actually have to be kidding me, right? Vi has not been performing? Am I playing a different game than you guys? Vi has not been performing. What? Let me just actually read it again. Give me a second. Vi has not been performing up to par. Especially in the early game. These changes will make sure she packs a punch. Her passive... 4 plus 0.2 plus 0.3. Now she's gonna get 0.3 per level, so 0.1 per level extra. So at maximum level, she's gonna do 1.5% maximum health bonus damage every time she procs her passive. Okay. First ability cooldown goes down by 1 second. Okay. And the third ability, what's about the third ability? The base damage goes up by 10. Massive boost early game, by the way. And the scaling does not go up, but this is a massive early game boost. Okay. Vi is gonna be S+ tier. I'm telling you guys, Vi is gonna be S+ tier. I think Kha'Zix is gonna get nerfed, even though he's never played. Our Resonant Void Reaver is known for his ability to pop unsuspecting victims who are faring alone. We're making sure his signature move can do exactly that. Wait, are they buffing him? Oh wow, his first ability is getting bonus base damage. And Evolved Reaper class, 30% of Taste Fair cooldowns refunded against isolated targets. Now it's 40% cooldown refunded. Okay. Though I didn't think he needed this, but he's just getting buffed. His first ability gets lower cooldown when you hit an isolated target, and it does more damage. Talon, I actually want him to get buffed, but I don't think he will. I think he's gonna get nerfed. Talon is the man of the hour. He can do it all, but it's making it unfair for everyone else, so we're bringing him back down to earth. Yeah, I agree. He's like a bit too strong, honestly. Rake, which is his second ability. Sending damage is gonna go down by a lot, actually. 15 flat damage. Early game hurts him a lot. Returning damage goes down. Oh, return damage goes up. Okay, so the sending damage goes down, but the returning damage goes up. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be a nerf in damage. It's a little bit more difficult to hit the return damage because you generally burst an enemy with the send damage. So this is actually quite a substantial nerf already. And cooldown per wall goes up as well. Early game by 25 seconds. Oh man, 25, 20, 15, and 10 seconds. All of these are pretty big nerfs, not gonna lie. Misfortune. Misfortune's damage basically needs to be doubled for her to be balanced. She's the worst ADC by far right now. By far. So, Misfortune is lagging behind, yeah. Especially noticeable as the game progresses. We're increasing her damage and making sure she's speedy enough to dodge whatever her enemies throw at her. This needs to be a big buff, by the way. Damage increased, instead of 7.75 plus 0.25% per level. No, not percent, 0.25 per level. Now it's 7.6, which is a little bit less. But it's gonna be the exact same thing on level 1, because now you get 0.4 per level. This is a pretty substantial buff. This is actually a pretty substantial buff. So 0.15% per level increase, which is gonna result into like a 2.25% increase in damage overall, which is something, to say the least. It's, you know, it's something. It's a start to a target that she has the 3 stacks on. Strut. Movement speed increased by not taking damage. Instead of 25, yeah, now it goes up to 45. This is what I was thinking. This is something she needs. And then the full movement speed is gonna be up as well. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. This actually helps Misfortune. She's still gonna lack damage. Like, this is actually not enough. Her basic attacks just don't hurt at all. But I guess that's fine. Hey, I see something else that needs to get buffed. It's you. I want to remind you guys, again, you can skip ahead a minute if you don't care about this, but I want to remind you guys, I have this fitness and dietary coaching program, and we've helped dozens of people already, and we've started posting some of them, and this is on our Instagram, by the way. And just to show you, this was my transformation. You can see this is pretty good. Like, this is, you can see it is real. My arms are actually bigger now than they were in that picture, which is pretty funny. And then you can see not only me, this is gonna be the head coach. He did a little transformation as well, just for fun. And here is some of our clients. So here you can see, you know, for example, this person lost a lot of fat, gained a lot of muscle in 11 weeks. And if you don't believe it, there's gonna be a video of him talking about this transformation as well. And then this person as well, Andrew, lost 30 pounds, which is nearly 14 kilograms as well. And yet again, there's gonna be a video of him talking about how the program worked for him. If you're interested in this, I've put this link in the description. You click on it, there's gonna be a form that you can fill in. Just fill in your name and all of that. And then after you fill in your goals and all of that, I'm gonna reach out to you, plan a meeting with you, and then we can talk about what this program can mean for you. Trust me, if you wanna make a transformation, if you wanna get healthier, if you're sitting on your lazy ass right now thinking, I need this, but like I need someone to push me, this is it for you. And you can see it at me, even my face, like your face is gonna look better. You can see, for example, like just look at this. Look at how miserable I look on the left. You can see just a lack of vitamins, lack of everything. And then here, I look like a bit more of a Chad. And you can see this is real. This is not photoshopped or anything. Like I really, it makes that difference. So not only your body, your skin, your health, you sleep better, you feel better, you get stronger, you get more confident, you get more attention from everyone. It's like an overall positive thing. So that's it. Like, link is going to be in the description. Link is going to be in the pinned comment as well. I'm really looking forward to meeting a lot of you guys. And you can join the dozens of people that are already in the program. So next up we got Samira. She is going to get... honestly, I have no idea. I'm just going to guess 50-50. I think she's going to get nerfed. Samira hasn't been keeping up with her opponents. Oh, she's getting buffed. We're increasing her opportunities for damage with these changes to make sure she can catch up. Blade Whirl, which is her... that's her second ability. Yeah, that's her second ability. Oh, that's actually a pretty big buff, honestly. Like, the cooldown reduction is a pretty big buff. Because 4 seconds early game. And how much is that? That's 2.5 seconds late game. That's actually pretty big. Because some of her items also give her cooldown reduction. This is actually a pretty big buff. But the biggest buff comes with her ultimate, right? Damage of each shot. Okay. That's a big buff. In the late game, from 25 to 35 per shot. Every shot to every enemy. Oh, that's pretty big. Okay, that is a buff. That is a real buff. Like, by the way, fun story. I bought this bottle. I thought it was a normal sized bottle, and look at how big it is. It's like bigger than my head, which is pretty funny. But oh well, it holds a liter of water, so it's good, I guess. Zed. I think Zed is gonna get nerfed. Like, whenever I play Zed, I absolutely 1v9 the game. No way. Dude, this patch is crazy. Like, all of the champion. How is Zed getting buffed? How? I don't understand. Zed is struggling to deal with the enemy carries? That's not true. You just suck at Zed. Like, you suck at Zed. Zed is so powerful. So we've tweaked his damage to make sure he remains a threat to worry about. Okay, what did they buff about him? So the on-hit damage of his first ability. In 10% extra attack damage scaling, which is bigger than you think, because Zed built all of these heavy AD items, like Duskblade, Umos, you know, high AD items. So that's gonna end up doing like 30, 40 more damage per shuriken in the later game. And you can hit like 3 shurikens on an enemy, which is gonna be 120 extra damage. And his ult is gonna add 55% more to that. So the full combo, just because of this little buff, is gonna do potentially 200 extra damage. With just this buff, and there's more. Oh wait, there's more! Damage to enemies in the path. So if there's like, after the first enemy hit, the second enemy is gonna take this amount of damage. Now instead of 60%, it's gonna be 66%. So this is also getting buffed by 10%. And his third ability, no way, is also getting a 5% buff. Dude, this is honestly ridiculous because you have to understand how Zed works. This is not just a 10 and 5% buff, because everything with Zed stacks on top of each other. You can hit an enemy with multiple abilities, and then his ultimate further amplifies it up to 55% bonus damage. So you have to count all of that together, which means you're gonna do hundreds of extra damage to a single target and to the rest of the team with this first ability, because this third ability also does damage to everyone around it. So you're gonna end up doing hundreds of extra damage in a single team fight, potentially even over 1,000 extra damage just because of this buff. And when I say this is a big buff, I really mean it. This makes Zed easily S+ tier. Easily. Blitzcrank should get nerfed. Blitzcrank actually low-key no, because it's a bit of a tank meta. Like, in my opinion, Blitzcrank is already strong enough, but I think he's gonna get buffed. I think he's gonna get buffed. Just because people just don't know how to play Blitzcrank. What are you supposed to do when you miss your hook? Now with a lower mana cost, hook again. So he gets... Oh, this is a small little thing that I really want you guys to keep your eyes on. 0.3 extra attack damage per level, which means at maximum level you're gonna get 5 extra attack damage, which is something. His basic, like, his attack speed is pretty decent. Mana consumption, 100 at all levels, 80 at all levels. Okay, you know what? Okay, this is fine with Blitzcrank. It doesn't make him, like, it's not really an obnoxious buff because he's already strong enough. This just makes him a bit easier to play for the lower elos, which is something I can respect. Irelia is definitely getting buffed. She cannot play in this tank meta. She's definitely getting buffed. And what I think actually specifically is gonna get buffed is her percentage HP damage on her passive. That's what I think is gonna get buffed. Irelia has been falling off in the late stage of the Irelia has been falling off in late-stage teamfights. We want to make sure her blades are striking true, especially during key moments like fighting for objectives. So she gets 0.6 extra armor per level, which means she's going to end up getting 9 extra armor at max level, which is okay. And her ultimate is going to do more damage, more base damage. Actually, not as much of a buff as I thought. This is more of a buff than this, I would say. But this is really actually not that much of a buff. This won't help her against the tanks. Nautilus. I think AP Nautilus will get nerfed. I think that's gonna happen. Let's see. Nautilus has been a terror to deal with when stacking mage items. I knew it. I knew it. We're tweaking his ratios to ensure his anchor is not dealing massive damage. His first ability does the same amount of base damage, but it does 10% less AP damage. And this is his ultimate, I believe. The cooldown goes up, and then again, the base damage is the same, but the AP scaling goes down. AP Nautilus is still very much gonna be strong. It's just not gonna be like Giga broken anymore. I still think, however, it's gonna be like S tier. Hecarim, I think is gonna get nerfed. Even though I don't really have a problem with it, I think he's gonna get nerfed. Hecarim has been able to gallop in and out of enemies with little consequences. These changes will ensure that players have more factors to consider when they're choosing to engage. So, Rampage, which I believe is a... What is it? His third ability, second ability? Well, whatever it is... Oh, that's his first ability. So he gets less movement speed when he hits an enemy now. That's his first ability. And the damage of his next Rampage, which I believe is his first ability again, is going to be reduced as well. Okay. Again, quite a substantial nerf if you ask me. They grabbed him by the balls. Like, you know what I mean? If you nerf something a little bit, but you grab it by the balls, it still matters a lot. Because you're grabbing a champion exactly where he hurts, which is Hecarim's first ability. That's where his damage comes from. So, even though this may not seem like a big nerf, he's grabbed by the balls. So, you know, it hurts him a lot. So Lucian, I think, is gonna get. I have no idea, honestly. I don't really play enough Wild Rifts. I play still a lot, but like I don't know. Think he's gonna get nerfed? I don't know. Lucian is lagging behind his fellow marksmen, making sure he can keep up with the rest of the pack. He's getting buffed. So this is his passive. Damage of the second bullet goes up. Okay, yet again, this is quite a substantial buff, because he uses his passive a lot of times. So doing 5% extra damage later on in the game is actually gonna hurt the enemy a lot more. Jarvan, I think maybe they're gonna reduce his tankiness, although I think Jarvan absolutely sucks, but let's see what's gonna happen. Yeah, so they're buffing him instead. We're buffing Jarvan's late game damage while also granting him more mobility to effectively engage in team fights. So his base stats, he's gonna get 0.45 extra attack damage, which is gonna result in around like 7 extra attack damage late game, which is something, I guess. Cooldown of his third ability goes down, so he can dash around more, give more attack speed to his teammates. Talking about more attack speed, he does just give more attack speed. 5% across the board. It's just gonna be better as like a supporting jungler to give more attack speed to his teammates. Good, I guess. I just want to say, these champion changes have been crazy, and the fact that Darius has not been nerfed yet says a lot to me. And you know what, talking about Darius, I'm thinking about making a Darius video. I've been dominating enemies with Darius, so you know what, if this video reaches, how many likes should we say, like 750 likes, I'll make a Darius video on the main channel. I haven't made a gameplay video for so long on the main channel. I have my reasons. But if you guys really want to see it, I'll put my time into it. I'll play like 50 games of Darius and give you guys the best Darius video you've ever seen. 750 likes? Do it. Also, let me know in the comments what you think about these changes. Like always, I read through all the comments. And a reminder as well, of course, if you want to enter the program, the link is in the description and the pinned comment. So, the gameplay changes. Let's see what happens here. The T-Hex mecha, we're optimizing T-Hex's abilities to make sure it's dealing enough damage. We're also improving its maneuverability. Yeah, this is an important one. He felt very, how do you say it? Like, it's like very slow and he doesn't turn around quick. Missile Blitz. It now slows enemies by 20%, and T-Hex can use other abilities and basic attacks during the Missile Blitz. Okay. The Iron Tail Sweep, which is the sweep that knocks back enemies. It knocks back enemies and now it stuns them for 0.2 seconds. Okay. Laser Ray. Now the laser also slows enemies. Hextech Baron Nashor. Hextech Baron Nashor has been shredding through enemies. We're adjusting his damage. It's true, actually. Like, this new Baron is so powerful. Like, he does so much damage. So they're nerfing his damage. Hex, I don't know what this all is. 100% attack damage of Baron Nashor. 60% of attack damage of Baron Nashor. I think the Baron is just gonna do less damage to you. The Hextech Gorilla Turret. Hextech Gorilla Turret has felt underwhelming. True. Like, the turret felt very underwhelming compared to the Herald, when it's spending all its energy walking around. We're making sure it's locked in onto the enemy turrets. The Gorilla Turret will immediately stop consuming energy when the target turret is destroyed. Okay? Hextech Gorilla Turret does not consume energy when moving and attacking minions. Okay, so it's only gonna consume energy when taking turrets. Massive change. This makes it a lot better. The Hextech Mimic. We're optimizing the time it takes to activate Hextech Mimic to make the overall experience a lot smoother. Increasing the radius of pickup for the mini Hextech Mimics behind the turret. Okay, and trigger range of mini Hextech of the mini Mimics hitting turrets from 8 to 9. So now you don't need to get as close to the enemy turret to proc the mini Mimics anymore, to just get like a free turret plate. Hextech Toolkit. We're optimizing the duration and effect of some of the tools. We're also removing some that haven't been hard hitting as we've hoped. So the duration of the Hextech Toolkit in lane goes from 50 seconds to 30 seconds, so you have to pick it up quicker. And the active time duration of the prop's own, so now you have a longer time to activate it. Instead of 45 seconds, now you have 65 seconds. The Deceleration Ray, now instead of slowing the enemy, it damages the enemy. Okay. They removed the exploding puppets, whatever the hell that is. Okay, so now let's talk about the items. Interesting. We're adjusting the numbers on Riftmaker. We're adjusting the number on Riftmaker to make sure it's a viable pickup as a sustain item. Oh, it gives 1% extra Omnivamp. So instead of increasing damage by 3% with each layer of corruption, now it increases only by 2.5%. So it's a nerf in damage and it's a buff in Omnivamp. Okay. Leandris. Leandris should get buffed, honestly. Leandris Torment is providing a great deal of damage, which makes it overpowered. Really? When compared to other mage items, we're adjusting its early power. Damaging abilities or empowered attacks do 0.5%. Now it's 0.4 plus 0.005% ability power. So when you have 200 ability power, it's going to be 0.5 again. But when you have more, it's actually going to do more damage. So in the early game, it's worse. In the late game, it's going to be better, which is actually a buff. I'm not sure why they're writing it as if it's a nerf. This is actually a pretty substantial buff. Only early game, you're going to do slightly less damage with it. But now this is like actually going to be a very good late game item, like 3rd, 4th, 5th item, instead of buying it as like your 1st or 2nd item. You just want to skip this item all the way until your later item. Blade of the Rune King. After the Ruination patch, Blade of the Rune King hasn't been providing enough attack damage. We're improving on its offering to make sure it remains as an attractive pickup. So now instead of 20 attack damage, it just gives you 5 extra attack damage. I don't think this is necessary. The item is already incredibly powerful in this tank meta. Now the item is going to be even stronger and pretty much a perma pickup on some champions like Viego, Yasuo, Yone, you know, stuff like that. Rune changes. Arcane Comet. We're increasing the damage of the Arcane Comet based on stacks. Okay. So the damage is 30 to 100 until late game. Plus 2 times the stacks. So instead of 1 time the stacks, you now get 2 times the stacks. And then plus the same amount of attack damage and ability power. So now you're actually gonna get more. You're just gonna get double the stacks damage, which is quite substantial, which is something. Cup of Grass. This is very weak, so this is obviously getting buffed. Compared with other precision runes, Cup of Grass is not hitting quite the same. We're buffing its damage to make it an attractive pickup when considering the options under precision. So instead of doing 7% bonus adaptive damage to enemies below 40% health, you now do 8% bonus adaptive damage. Okay, this is something. Like, I think this is gonna make it a more attractive pickup on some champions that want to take down enemies when they're low HP. Not the most substantial buff. I think 9% would have been better, but 8% is just better than 7%, right? So what is this? Our anti-cheat is constantly evolving to ensure fairness in play. While cheating in Wild Rift is relatively rare, I wouldn't say it's that rare. Oh well. The impact it has on the player experience can be profound. They've banned around 1,300 cheaters. So they're saying it's rare, but they're also saying they've banned 1,300 cheaters with another 3,000 coming. Doesn't look very rare to me if you've almost banned 5,000 cheaters. It's not like this game has that many players. You know, if we have like 1 million players, if 5,000 people out of those 1 million players are cheating, that's quite a lot, you know what I mean? And there's probably even more that they haven't even seen. Funny thing, like you can literally just buy a cheating package by going on YouTube and looking it up. It's like that bad. So finally, they're actually doing something about it. If you believe your account has been compromised, please contact player support. Skins, I don't buy Riot skins, so I don't care. That's it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Again, a reminder, if you want to change your life and all of that, this is going to be it for you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.